So the topic for today is the hormones which come out from the other portions of body, for example heart, kidney, as well as the gastrointestinal tract. So let's quickly go through from the notes from the NCERT first. Now you know about the endocrine glands and their hormones, and however, as mentioned earlier, hormones are also secreted by some tissues which are not endocrine glands. For example, the arterial wall of the heart. If you recollect, we have done this topic already in the kidneys chapter. We learned there that whenever the blood volume increases or the salt concentration changes, in that case the signal is picked up by the arterial wall. There are special cells which start releasing a hormone called as the arterial natriuretic factor, and this factor or hormone is an important it's an important peptide hormone. This hormone decreases the blood pressure, and when the blood pressure is increased, the ANF secretion causes the dilation of the blood vessel, and this reduces the blood pressure. So this hormone is responsible for checking the activities of the RAAS, which you have covered already in the previous chapter. We learned in the kidneys chapter that there are two hormones responsible for increasing the decreasing the concentration, decreasing the volume of the urine, and to increase and bring back the blood volume back, and that was the RAAS. If you remember, this topic we have covered. So the ADH hormone and the renin-angiotensin hormone, these are responsible for making the blood volume back to normal. And the opposite hormone is the ANF hormone. So whenever there is an increased amount of blood flow, then the body has to get rid of the extra volume of blood. That means the volume of water has to be decreased in the blood, and that happens because of the ANF factor. ANF causes vasodilation. This means the dilation of the blood vessels, and this decreases the blood pressure. So it acts as a check on the renin-angiotensin mechanism. So we have covered this already in that chapter. So ANF is secreted when there is where there is need to be dilation of blood vessel, which decreases the pressure, and this will cause the amount of urine to go out will become more, so that the blood volume is brought back to the normal. Now the next hormone comes out is the erythropoietin. The kidney releases a hormone which comes out from the JG cells. Now JG cells, if you remember, are also responsible for release of renin hormone. So renin, just like renin, the juxtaglomerular cells of the kidney produce a peptide hormone, and that hormone is called as erythropoietin hormone, which is responsible for stimulating or motivating the process of RBC formation. And the formation of RBC in medical term is called as erythropoiesis. So erythropoiesis requires the hormone, a peptide hormone called as erythropoietin, and this hormone comes out from the kidney, from the juxtaglomerular cells. The endocrine cells present in different parts of the gastrointestinal tract. So the GI tract I have discussed in the last class. Gastric stands for the stomach. Intestine means the small intestine, basically the duodenum. So maximum of the hormones from the intestine basically comes from duodenum and from the stomach. So the gastrointestinal tract also carries the endocrine cells, and these cells releases hormones. So they secrete four major peptide hormones, and these hormones are gastrin, secretin. I have told in the classes, in the offline classes also, that the first hormone discovered by scientists, and that was the Baylis and Starling, was the secretin hormone, which comes out from the duodenum. So gastrin comes from the stomach. We already learned from pancreas, it comes from the gamma cells also. And then secretin comes from duodenum. Then we have the cholecystokinin. So if you break this word, chol stands for the bile, cysto stands for the bladder, that means the gallbladder. So kinin means to activate, kinetic means to activate or motion. So this hormone causes the gallbladder to undergo contraction so that the bile could be released. So it is called as CCK. And then we have the gastric inhibitory peptide, which comes out from the intestine and stops the activity of gastric glands, because once the food has already reached the intestine from stomach gets empty. Now the empty stomach should stop creating motion, no churning movement is required, no enzymes are required. So the message goes from intestine that the food has already left stomach, and then the stoppage of the activities of stomach take place because of this GIP, also called as gastric inhibitory peptide. The gastrin acts on the gastric glands and stimulates the secretion of the hydrochloric acid. So HCl production is under the control of the gastrin, and pepsinogen also. Pepsinogen is the enzyme required for digestion of protein. It is inactive form which is activated into pepsin with the help of HCl. Secretin acts on the exocrine, pancreatic and stimulates the secretion of water and the bicarbonate ions to make the acidic food into alkaline, because the food present in the stomach is rich in HCl. When it reaches the duodenum, it is acidic and it has to be turned into basic so that the enzymes of pancreatic juice and the intestinal juice could easily digest it. For that, the role of secretin is important. So the next is the CCK. CCK acts on the both pancreas and the gallbladder, because in some books you will find it is called in different manner. Pancreas hormone is called as pancreozymin, and CCK is only for gallbladder, but lately it has been discovered both of the hormones are same. So CCK acts on both pancreas and gallbladder and stimulates the secretion of the pancreatic enzymes as well as the bile juice respectively. The GIP inhibits the gastric secretion and motility. Several other non-endocrine tissues secrete hormones which are called as growth factors, and these factors are essential for normal growth of tissues and their repair as well as regeneration.